Career and Technology Education School Finance by Maria Leal, UT Tyler, Summer 1, 2014. Good afternoon. This presentation is to talk to you about career and technology education and the financial aspect of it, financing the CADE program. What is career and technology education? Career and technical education programs are dedicated to preparing young people to manage the dual roles of family member and wage earner. Career and technical programs enable students to gain entry-level employment in a high-skill, high-wage job and or to continue their education at a higher level. How is CADE funded? That is the question that should be mainly covered by this presentation. Career and technology education is funded through federal and state funding. The federal aspect of CADE is funded through the Carl D. Perkin Career and Technical Education Improvement Act of 2006. And the state aspect of it, it's funded through the Career and Technical Education Funding Allotment Fund. This presentation provides you with links that you can click on and be able to access the law that pertains to the funding area of CADE, federal as well as state. Continuing with how is CADE funded, school districts are eligible to receive funding in different ways. School districts are eligible to receive weighted funding for eligible full-time equivalents, FTE students in approved CADE programs or career and technology programs. In addition to this weighted funding, school districts are also eligible to receive a $50 for each FTE student enrolled in either one of two things: 1, 2 or more advanced CADE courses for 3 or more credits, or an advanced CADE course as part of a tech program. How is CADE funded? Continued. The advanced courses list, effective 2010 through 11 through 12, and up to this year, 2013 to 2014, are available online on the TEA website. I have provided links within this PowerPoint. You just need to click on the link provided on slide 3 of this presentation, and you should be able to download a list of the courses that are considered advanced for CADE purposes to receive that additional funding. The two funding elements determine a district's total CADE allotment. The allotment applies to students in grade 9 to 12 enrolled in CADE programs and students with disabilities in grades 7 through 12 enrolled in career and technology for disabled programs. Districts receive 35% more funding for CADE students than for regular students. How do we estimate a district's foundation school program for CADE allotment? Under the Texas Education Code 42.154, a school district is eligible to receive weighted fundings for each eligible full-time equivalent student in average daily attendance in an approved CADE program. In addition to the weighted funding, a school district is also eligible to receive a flat amount of $50 per FTE enrollment in certain advanced CADE courses, which is what I just mentioned a little while ago on a previous slide. Together, these funding elements make up the district's total CADE allotment. It's important to mention that CADE funding or vocational education funding, weighted funding, has been provided to school districts for several decades. The extra CTE funding of $50 per FTE in advanced CTE course programs became first available to school districts for the 2009-2010 school year with the passage of House Bill 3646 by the 81st Legislature, regular session in 2009. Estimating a district foundation school program for CADE allotment, the approximate amount of a district's CADE allotment can be calculated by estimating the number of CADE FTEs, using that number to determine estimates of the district's weighted CADE funding and its funding for FTEs in advanced courses or programs, and adding those funding amounts together. It sounds a little bit complicated. I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can. And all this information, it's available in the TA website. I will provide a link at the end of the presentation so that you're able to access it if you wish to review it further. Estimating a district's foundation school program for K-8, an FTE is defined as 30 hours of contact hours a week or 1,080 hours of contact a year between a student and a K-8 program personnel. 30 contact hours per week times 36 weeks, it's the 180 days, or equals to 1,080 contact hours per year. Each student enrolled in one or more K-8 courses is assigned a code, V1 through V6, indicating the average number of hours per day that the student spends in a K-8 course or a CTE course. This code is used to determine the number of K-8 contact hours a student generates per day and ultimately per year, and the resulting portion of the FTE that the student generates. Slide 9 of the presentation gives you examples of a student that has been coded as V1, V2, V3, V4, V5, up to V6. Assuming that these students have perfect attendance, the contact hour multiplier would be either 1 or 2 or 3, 4, 5, or 6. The number next to the V, which is the vocational, would actually tell you how many hours per day the student spends with a K-8 personnel or a K-8 instructor. Depending on that, it's how many FTEs or a portion of an FTE a student generates. An example would be, let's say, X independent school district has 75 students coded as V1, 21 students coded as V2, 18 students coded as V3, and 5 students coded as V5. All these students had perfect attendance for the school year. The district number of K-8 FTEs would be calculated as follows. The 75 students coded as V1 times the contact hour multiplier times 180 eligible days present equal 13,500 contact hours. The 21 students coded as V2 times the contact hour multiplier, which is 2, that is determined by the number next to the V, times the 180 eligible days present equals 7,560 contact hours. And that continues so forth until you arrive at the total hours, contact hours for career and technology hours where students spend with an instructor, which equals for this particular district example 35,280 hours divided by 1,080 contact hours, that equals 32.667 CTE FTEs. Estimating career and technology weighted funding. A school district receives the set amount of funding weighted with a multiplier of 1.35 for each K-8 FTE in an eligible program. In the example that we provided before, the total FTEs for that particular example ended up being 32.667 FTEs. So the total amount would have to be multiplied by the amount in the formula, which is the formula for estimating the weighted funding would be the CTE weighted funding. It's equal to the eligible CTE FTEs times the district adjusted allotment times 1.35. In the case of the particular district priorly mentioned, it would be 32.667 times 6,000, which would be the adjusted allotment times 1.35. A district's adjusted allotment can be found in the Summary of Finances report, and this report can be found in the TA website, and it is based on the basic allotment, which is 4,765 if the district has a compressed tax rate of at least $1. A district with a compressed tax rate of less than $1 will have somewhat lower basic allotment. A district's Adjusted allotment is determined by making certain adjustments to the basic allotment on factors such as school district size, the district's population. For a more detailed explanation of how a district's adjusted allotment is determined, you would need to go to the School Finance 101 funding of Texas Public Schools, and it is also available at the website with TEA, which is also located in slide 11 of this presentation. So the previous example gave us a total FTE, student FTEs of 32.667. In this particular case, it would produce funding of $291,063 for the year. A CTE indicator code of 1, 2, or 3 on a student's 101 student data demographic record indicates that the student is enrolled in an eligible CADE program. CADE Advanced Courses program funding, in addition to the weighted funding, a school district is also eligible to receive a flat amount of $50 per FTE enrolled in two or more advanced CTE courses, or 2, an advanced course as part of a tech prep program under the Texas Education Code Chapter 61, Subchapter T. A list of the CTE advanced courses can be found in the TEA website. It is also listed on slide 12 of this presentation. The CTE advanced course program funding, it's equal to the eligible CTE FTEs times $50. If an example would be, if a district has 16 of the 18 students coded V3 are eligible to generate the advanced course program funding based on their course program enrollment, and 5 of the 5 students coded B5 are eligible to generate the advanced course program funding based on their course or program enrollment, that would equal 13,140 hours, contact hours, divided by 1,080 contact hours. That would equal 12.167 FTEs, CADE FTEs. That would be multiplied by 50, and it would be 608 rounded dollars extra. Calculating an estimated career and technology education allotment. A district's total career and technology education allotment is found by adding the CADE weighted funding and its advanced course program funding. The CTE allotment is equal to the CTE weighted funding plus the CTE advanced course program funding. Again, an example would be ABC ISD had CTE weighted funding of $291,063 and CTE advanced course program funding of $608. The district total CADE allotment would be calculated as follows. Adding the two amounts, the $291,063 plus the $608 equals $291,671. And you can look at the PowerPoint examples and see how each one correlates, and looking at it makes it a little bit easier to visualize how funding is calculated for the CADE programs, for the CTE program. The CTE education program has 16 career clusters of study. And why is this important? Why am I mentioning it? It's because depending on the high schools that your district has, or the way your high schools are run, some of the high schools might offer just a few of the programs, some of them might offer more. And if the students are interested in these clusters offered at the high school, the more classes they take, the more funding your districts will get. The clusters are the agriculture, food, and natural resources cluster, architecture and construction, arts, AV technology and communications, business management and administration, education and training, finance, government and public administration, health finance, science, technology, engineering and mathematics, transportation, distribution and logistics, information technology, hospitality and tourism, manufacturing, the law, public safety, corrections and security program, marketing, and human services. Slide 14 of the PowerPoint provides you with pictures of the 16 clusters. If you click on the icon or the picture of each of the clusters, you should be able to access a document that gives you detailed information of each one of these clusters. Texas Administrative Code, Title 19, Part 2, Chapter 130 contains the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skills for Career and Technology Education programs for all of these 16 endorsements. And you can find the TEKs also on the TAA website, but I also made them available in slide 15 of this presentation. By clicking on the link, you should be able to access the TEKs for the particular program of study for the CTE program. The CTE student organization, the Career and Technology Education program also has student organizations that can be offered at your campuses. And as a superintendent, it's important that you stress the value of your high schools offering these, having these organizations available for the students. The more involvement they have, the bigger your career and technology program will grow, and the more funding will be available for your schools to run these programs. Some of the career and technology student organizations available are Business Professionals of America, DECA, Future Business Leaders of America, Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, Health Occupational Students of America, Skills USA Texas, Texas Association of Future Educators, Texas FFA Association, Texas Technology Students Association. There are other two associations, the National Technical Honor Society and the TA Oversight Policy. You can access all the information for each of these student organizations by clicking on the respective links on slide 16 of the presentation. And you can share this information with your respective career and technology teachers at your high schools. Just as the Career and Technology program has student organization, it also has state and national organizations for professional associations. There's state association, national association, and international association. Some of the state association are the Career and Technology Association of Texas, Cosmetology Instructors in Public Schools, Family and Consumer Science Teachers Association of Texas, Hospitality Educators Association of Texas, Marketing Educators of Texas, Texas Automotive Instructors Association, Texas Business and Technology Educators Association, Texas Health Occupational Association, Texas Industrial Vocational Association, Texas Technology and Engineering Educators, Vocational Agriculture Teachers Association. Those are the state association, and our national associations are American Association for Family and Consumer Science, Association for Career and Technical Education, National Association for Agricultural Educators, National Consortium on Health, Science and Technology Education, and the International Association is the International Technology and Engineering Educators Association. I included in slide 18 information about curriculum resources for the Career and Technology Education program, and I know this is deviating a little bit from the main focus of the presentation, which is the financial aspects of career and technology education, which I will review very briefly again in a few minutes. But I think that having a program that it's well-rounded and well advertised in your districts and your high schools will increase the effectiveness of your program and the availability for the students. The resources, some of the resources for career and technology education curriculum are from Texas A&M University, from Stephen Austin State University, University of North Texas, and each one offers different resources for curriculum. Texas A&M offers resources for agriculture, food and natural resources, transportation, distribution, and logistics. Stephen Austin State University offers resources for education and training, hospitality and tourism, human services. The University of North Texas offers curriculum resources for career and technology education, information about the ISD architecture and construction, education department, AV technology education, business management, and administration, finance, government and public administration, health science,
each of the high schools has
information
approximately
technology,
between
law,
2,200
public safety,
to up to
manufacturing,
2,400
marketing,
students at any given
and
time.
STEM, science,
Peak
technology,
enrollment.
engineering, and
The
mathematics.
current technology
All of this
education program at each of the high
information,
schools is
even
in
though
full
it's
force, and it is expected
not
to grow in the next few
the
years
financial
due
part
to our
of
district's decision
current
to move
technology
from a
education. It
traditional
does play a
7-period
very key
day
role
schedule
because
to
your
an
schools need to be
8-period
able
block
to
schedule. The
be
current technology education
very
program at each high school is
proactive
individualized
and
and
have a
reflects the
program
needs
that
of the
offers
students and the community.
many opportunities for your students. The better your
La
program
Joya
runs, the more students you will have enrolled, and the
at
more
Palmview High
funding will be
School,
created
the Korean Technology
for
Program.
your
We
Korean
currently
technology
offer the
education
following
program.
Korean
Again,
technology cluster programs:
just to briefly
the agriculture,
recap,
food and natural
school
resources, the
districts are
architecture and
eligible to
construction,
receive
the arts,
paid
AV
funding
technology,
in
information technology,
for
finance,
full-time
health science,
equivalency
transportation,
as
distribution,
students in
and
approved CAPE
logistics,
programs.
manufacturing, marketing, human services,
Basically,
hospitality, tourism,
students create
and the
FTEs
law and public safety
by being
program.
enrolled in the CTE classes.
At Palmview
In
High School,
addition
due
to
to the
this,
upcoming block
the
scheduling, our students
that
will
are
have more opportunities
taking
to take
2
the
or more
exploratory
CTE
classes to
courses
see what their career interests
or an
are.
advanced
This will
CTE
result
course
in,
as
an
part of a
increase of
tech
students taking CAPE
prep
classes.
program receives an additional
Consequently, it will
$50
result
for
in
each
increased funding for our
student
district
FTE
in the
enrolled in either one of
CTE
these
program.
two.
The original purpose of
If
the block
you
scheduling was
want
not
to
necessarily intended for
download some
CAPE
of those
classes
courses
to increase,
again
but it
that are
is intended
approved as
to offer
advanced, you
academically
can
struggling
download them
students the
straight from the
opportunity to have
website
additional
MTA.
periods throughout the
You
school
can
year
click
to
in the link
recover
in slide
and
5 of
remediate
my
classes
presentation.
due
And
to the requirements of state testing
and
and
again,
to ensure their academic
an
success.
example of
However,
how these
not
would be
all of our
coded
students
can be
need
found in
remediation
slide
or to
10,
recover
11,
classes,
and 12 of the
and these students
presentation.
will take
Basically,
additional elective
the
classes.
FTEs,
Most of
how
the
many
classes that they
FTEs
requested
calculated
based on the
the
students' registration
produced for
process
CATE.
were CATE classes.
In the example that I gave,
We
it
are
was
providing additional CTE teachers to
32.667.
increase the offering of
That
courses
then it's
based on the
multiplied
requests of the
by the
students
district's
during
adjusted allotment,
registration
then multiplied by
April.
1.35.
How
That
did
gives
Palmview
you
High School
the
decide what CAPE
estimated
courses to offer?
weighted funding.
Like I said, during the April
And then
months of the spring
that,
semester, the students went
you
through
add,
registration process. They
depending on
chose
how
the
many
classes
students
they
you
wanted
have
to take the
taking the
upcoming
advanced courses,
14-15
you
school
add
year. And
the
based on those
additional
requests,
$50
we had to
for
request
how
additional
many students
CTE
qualify
teachers,
for that.
FTEs,
Thank
to
you.
make sure that we're
And
providing the
if you
students
have
with
any
the
questions,
requests that
you
that they
can
needed.
download information
All
directly from
these
CA website. You
teachers
can
are
also
going,
find
additional FTEs are
information
going to be
directly
funded
by
through
contacting
the additional funding
the
from
CT
CAPE.
School Finance
We're going to require new
offices
labs.
at
We're going to require equipment,
512-463-923.
but that should
The
be
email
provided through
and
the
phone number again is
Korean
found
Technology
on slide
Education Program
19.
of this
Funding,
presentation,
since
the numbers increased, almost doubled for this upcoming school year.
Good afternoon. This presentation is to talk to you about Korean technology education and the financial aspect of it, financing the CAPE program. What is Korean technology education? Korean technical education programs are dedicated to preparing young people to manage the dual roles of family member and wage earner. Korean technical programs enable students to gain entry-level employment in a high-skill, high-wage job and or to continue their education at a higher level. How is CAPE funded? That is the question that should be mainly covered by this presentation. Korean technology education is funded through federal and state funding. The federal aspect of CAPE is funded through the Carl D. Perkin Career and Technical Education Improvement Act of 2006. And the state aspect of it, it's funded through the Current Technical Education Funding Allotment Fund. This presentation provides you with links that you can click on and be able to access the law that pertains to the funding area of CAPE, federal as well as state. Continuing with how is CAPE funded, school districts are eligible to receive funding in different ways. School districts are eligible to receive weighted funding for eligible full-time equivalents, FTE students in approved CAPE programs or current technology programs. In addition to this weighted funding, school districts are also eligible to receive a $50 for each FTE student enrolled in either one of two things. 1, 2 or more advanced CAPE courses for 3 or more credits, or an advanced CATE course as part of a tech program. How is CATE funded? Continued. The advanced courses list, effective 2010 through 11, 11 through 12, and up to this year, 2013 to 2014, are available online on the TA website. I have provided links within this PowerPoint. You just need to click on the link provided on slide 3 of this presentation, and you should be able to download a list of the courses that are considered advanced for CATE purposes to receive that additional funding. The two funding elements determine a district's total CATE allotment. The allotment applies to students in grade 9 to 12 enrolled in CATE programs and students with disabilities in grades 7 through 12 enrolled in career and technology for disabled programs. Districts receive 35% more funding for CATE students than for regular students.